Welcome everybody to Ashram Talks. This is Atul Krishnadas, your host for today. Today we will continue talking about Karma Yoga. And in the lesson that we're covering today, we will be inspired by the wisdom of the Gita, and we will see how is it possible for us to lower our anxiety level every day based on expectations, how to improve focus in our task on the day to day while improving the performance, feeling more satisfaction in what we're doing, and how to build emotional resilience through success and failure. And guiding us today will be the wonderful Chandramurti. Chandramurti, welcome.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here. Thank you, Atul Krishna Prabhu.
Of course. It's a pleasure being here with you again.
Okay, so today's verse is a very, very powerful verse. It's almost like a key, I feel, like a key to living in a way of freedom, living in a way, helping us live in a manner of peace and looking at everything in the world as a offering, living our life as an offering to the universe, to God, and bringing about it's like a guide verse. They're all obviously all the verses of the Gita are like guides, but this particular one I find is like really specific, like a key into living skillfully, which is what karma yoga is all about. So I'll start today with my Mangala Charana, my offering prayers unto my spiritual master and my divine teachers, praying for their guidance and inspiration today. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachare Shatarine Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Okay, so offering my obeisances unto my Divine Master, Niti Leela Pravista Om Vishnupad, Shishima Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, unto the lotus feet of Niti Leela Pravista Om Vishnupad, Shishima Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and all of our illustrious teachers in our divine Guru Parampara or spiritual lineage, and praying for their guidance and mercy today to really dive deeper into this verse. Okay, so today is going more deeper into karma yoga. We've spoken about it already. Many other speakers have spoken about it. And this verse, Krishna, in his talk with Arjuna, is summarizing it very clearly. So let's start with looking at that verse. Karmanye varikaraste ma faleshu karachan ma karma falahetur bur ma te sangostva karmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So this verse further explores karma yoga and outlining in detail this beautiful art of living skillfully. And Krishna reveals the true nature of responsibility of because actually we're all responsible for our actions, right? And our actions are born from desires within. Now, it's very interesting, and I'm going to explore this topic of responsibility quite a lot in this episode, because it doesn't overtly, it does not seem like that at first when we first read the verse. We're going to break it up and we're going to look at each section of the verse. And actually, in this verse, Krishna is teaching how to come home to yourself and God. It's like the first steps of coming home to yourself. Krishna's given the instructions in the first part of this chapter all about the soul and who am I? And he's revealing who are you? He's revealing to Arjuna, and he's revealing to all of us who are you? You're not this body. You're a spirit soul. I am it, and I am spirit. I am not matter. I am not made of blood, pus, urine, stool, this body that's made up of all these things that are temporary and that is born and that dies, but the soul is eternal. And then he's taking it further to think about, well, what are the actions of the soul? What does the soul do? We're not just a soul, that's spirit, and we don't do anything. The soul has a nature and function. And he's guiding us to, well, what how does the soul act? What does the soul do? And how obviously the soul is eternally happy and peaceful. And now he's bringing us to the first steps to how one can act on the platform of the soul. And so the first instruction in that is act selflessly, not selfishly. So in our false identity, we we desire, all of our desires are born from selfishness. Me, and mine, and extended out to our family members and society, but it's all related to me. It's all separate from our relationship with God generally, unless we've we've somehow or other been born in a family, or we've got the impressions from previous lives where we're automatically um, close to God in everything we do. But generally in this world, we're here because we've forgotten God and forgotten our eternal relationship with Him, forgotten that we are spirit, and we think that we're this body, and we've developed a false identity. And so then our desire naturally is to enjoy through the senses and to try and uh, act so that we enjoy the results. We're always thinking about how we can make our situation better. We're not satisfied with what we have. We lament about what we have lost, or we hanker for what we don't have. And then we work with all our energy to strive to attain something, right? That we feel like it's going to make us happy, or it's going to solve this problem or that problem. But when we have that mood in that absorption in our false identity, absorption in desires for our false identity, basically pleasing our false selves, pleasing our senses, rather than the real us, the soul within, and we're in that mode of being separate from God, we're always getting bitten by the good and bad results of our actions. And I say bitten because there's an analogy given that it's like being bitten by wasps or drones. When we act in this world, whatever we do, every single thing we do, and it's all born of thoughts and desires, and that turns into action, it comes back to us like a boomerang. In Australia, I come from Australia, and we have a boomerang. You throw the boomerang and it comes back to you. So and this is the perfect justice system of God, that whatever we give out comes back to us. And so, in that sense, we are responsible for our actions, and we're responsible for everything that is happening to us right now. There's no blame we can give to anybody else but ourselves for any of our situations that we're going through. And this is perfectly logical, because it's like a logical justice system. You give out something, you get it back. Um, and so that, it's affected by our looks, our activities that we do, our inclinations, our very life that we have. And so it's, we in the past, if we've planted a thorn tree, And then now we are wanting sweet fruits in our life, but we've planted thorn trees in the past, and so we're suffering now. We complain, oh, I'm getting cut by this thorn, and I'm getting cut by the thorns of my activities, but actually it's us who planted those seeds. So in the past, those seeds of action, and now they've fructified, and so we're enjoying or suffering the results of our previous actions. So Krishna is saying something very powerful here. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. And then he says, never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So he's giving the key to freedom from experiencing or being responsible for the results of our previous actions. And this is bringing us more into alignment of our soul's nature and function. So he's saying that you do your duty and don't worry about the results. You act selflessly. So our duty can be many different things. So often it is described as dharma. What is our nature in this life, and what is our natural function? So we all have inclinations towards doing certain things, and especially for our livelihood particularly, we have our routine activities that we need to do. We have, sometimes there's emergency activities that we need to attend to with family members or those around us. And then we have desired activities that we really strive for and we feel it will bring us pleasure, and so forth. Now, if we first of all can learn this art of doing it without any attachment to the result, and knowing that the result of that is in God's hands. There's that famous saying that we would have all heard, let go, let God. Let go of attachment to the results. At first, this can seem a little hard because that's what we're always doing. We're acting to get something for ourselves. This is kind of like a change in mindset. And if we try it out, actually see that it actually brings more satisfaction than trying to satisfy ourselves separate from this type of mood, like selfishly. There's been studies done of those who act selflessly for others actually feel more satisfaction than those who are always just acting for themselves. And then more than that, so the first step is nishkama karma, which is acting without desire, selfless. It's selfless action for others, selfless action in whatever you're doing. But the next step is involving yoga. So not just selfless action and being detached from the results, but actually making our life an offering to God. Yoga is, as we've talked about many times and other speakers have spoken about, yoga, the specific word is to yoke, or to bring about that union between us and our dear friend who's within our heart, who's always with us in every circumstance, and our nearest and dearest friend, Krishna or God. And when we awaken that relationship, that is yoga. And so this is karma yoga, the yoga of action, or connecting with God through our actions. So whatever our actions are, whatever we're doing in our life, we can make it an offering on a daily basis. At the very beginning of the day, actually, it's a really good practice to make it the first thing we do, the very beginning of our day when we first wake up, to think of who am I, and how I'm accompanied by my best friend. The Lord is with me right now, and we can offer ourselves to the Lord first thing in the morning. If we offer our whole selves to the Lord, then we can more easily offer everything we do. We later on hear when Krishna expands on this topic more, he says, Yat karosi, yat ashnashi, yat dohosi dadasi yat, that whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, do as an offering unto me. Now, when we do this, now a very amazing thing. Krishna is actually saying that I will be responsible for you. So he's saying that give your full concentration to discharging your duty. So full concentration in whatever you're doing, but the result is not in your hands, it is in mine. Offer that result to me, whatever is the result of that. He says the result is with me, all responsibility is with me. He actually takes responsibility for our actions. Later at the end of the Gita, he summarizes all what is said and he says, Sarva dharma parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. That abandon all varieties of dharma, all varieties of religion, activities, and just surrender unto me. I will purify you of all sins. Do not fear. So it's a very, very interesting concept that God will take responsibility for our actions, the results of our actions, if we're offering ourselves to Him. And this is the key to freedom from birth, the cycle of birth and death, the cycle of karma, of action and reaction. And it's all about our transforming our desire. Rather than desiring to serve ourselves, first of all, and this is the process, and Krishna takes us through the whole process. He starts off with karma yoga, he talks about jnana yoga, and then he talks about bhakti yoga, and they're all different steps along the path to awakening a loving relationship with God, which is ultimately expressed through bhakti yoga. And this is the beginning that, he's saying, don't become the cause of the fruit of your action. um the fruit of action, so he's saying a person becomes the cause of the fruit of action only when he acts with a desire for it. So when we act, and this is from the purport of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that we actually become the cause of the fruit of our action when we act with a desire for it. So when our desire is fully absorbed in material things, that we fully absorbed in our material identity, we just thinking that I am this body, I am a teacher, I am a lawyer, I am a king, I am a poor person, whatever it is, and we're acting with a desire to enjoy in this world, then we become the cause of the fruit of the action and we need to suffer the results or enjoy the results, whichever it may be, whether it's good or bad. But Krishna's actually saying, and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in his purport, that you shouldn't act like this. And he's saying, I bless you not to fall into this category of person. He's saying to Arjuna. And when he's giving these instructions, he's blessing Arjuna and he's blessing all of us. Don't fall into this category of being the cause of the results of your actions. Give your full attention to doing your duty and let the result be in God's hands. Offer the result to God. And then He is responsible for the actions. He is the reactions and so this is a purifying process, because by following this, we gradually become purified out of our desire to enjoy separate from God. We start to live our life aligned with God every day, and learning to listen to His guidance within, and learning to listen His guidance without, learning to see God within everything, seeing that he sometimes he'll come as Sri Guru or the divine master, divine instructor, and give us direct instructions. Other times he'll come to us through the universe, whatever, like people say, or these days especially, the universe spoke to me, or this is a sign from the universe. That is God guiding us. So if we can live our life in alignment with Him and offer the fruits of our activities to Him, then we will be going forth in a very powerful and blissful way. And if we surrender ourselves unto God, then we're always going to be blissful and happy. But otherwise, we're surrendering to our own mind and body, then we'll always be disturbed one way or another. Now, interesting. So there's three different parts to this verse. He says, "You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions." And actually, we're not entitled, because when we're trying to enjoy this world separate from God, we're actually enjoying the property of God. But it's for ourselves, rather than being in union with the whole, with the Creator, with that person who is behind the scenes and everything. Rather than being in union with Him, we become separate and try to enjoy ourselves, but we're actually trying to enjoy God's property for ourselves. Nothing belongs to us. When we come into this world, we come with nothing. When we leave this world, we leave with nothing. And if we utilize this world and our talents, our natural nature, if we utilize everything as an offering to God, then all those results come. All the fruits of those actions, they are in His hands, rather than we trying to enjoy it separately. So He's saying you are not entitled to the fruits of actions. And then He says, never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities. And this is what we're talking about already. It's all about desire. And if we gradually learn to desire to please God first, then we're actually pleasing the whole universe and everything within it and ourselves, because God is the whole and we are the part. The part serves the whole, everything is in harmony. And so, never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So Arjuna on the battlefield, he didn't want to fight anymore. He was overwhelmed with grief, and he just wanted to leave. So Krishna is saying, don't be attached to not doing your duty, but do your duty, letting the results in my hands, and then you will be safe. Srila Prabhupada in this verse, he describes that, because it's specifically talking about prescribed duties, and he's breaks up the different actions that are described in this verse. That one is prescribed duties, or duties that we do on a daily basis, and so on. And I'll go into that in a minute. And then capricious work, and then inaction. There's three different types of activities. So one of them is the first one is prescribed activities. So it's activities we perform in this world, routine work, obligatory work, things that we're obliged to do for our living, for our families, for our community, and so forth. And I already described this: emergency work and desired activities, things that we desire for. And these are actions that come in the moral category, or that is morally good for oneself and others. It is authorized by Scripture. It brings about happiness and peace. Then there is activities that are capricious, or things that in the dictionary it actually describes it as erratic, but Srila Prabhupada describes it as actions without the sanction of authority, or without the basically immoral actions that are not for the welfare of others. And then there's inaction, so just giving up your action. So he's saying, give your full attention to your duty, and don't engage in activities that are immoral. Engage in those activities that are in line with dharma, or for the welfare of yourself and others. But give up. Don't be attached to not doing your duty. That I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I mean, there's so many different situations we can apply this to. Like, for example, I'm a mother of a 6-year-old daughter, and it gets hard sometimes, right? It's challenging, but somehow or other we need to keep going on. I need to stay in that field of activity and know that God is with me, and continue giving my full attention, because if I don't give my full attention, either myself or my daughter or my family will suffer. But give my full attention to that duty, and know that the results in the Lord's hands. And if we just give it up, oh, this is too much, and some people do that, they'll leave. Oh, I can't handle this, it's too much, I'm leaving. And then the child grows up without their mother or their father, or they I mean, it happens in different situations, but this is just one situation. There's so many different situations that have their challenges and have their wonderful aspects, but it's very easy to just go, oh no, I don't want to do this anymore. But we need to stay there, continue. So you're saying never be attached to not doing your duty. Give your full attention to your duty, and know that I am behind the scenes of everything. I am there to look after you in any situation. Krishna is omniscient, he is omnipotent, and if we direct our attention to him, he'll always look after us. He's our nearest and dearest friend. And gradually we can see that actually, and Srila Bhakti Rakshakshridhar Maharaj describes in one of his books that in the Bhagavad Gita, actually it's saying he's saying that um, give your full attention to your duty. The result is with me. Responsibility is with me. And then he says, the generals say, or the great spiritual masters say, march, go forward, onward. You have to go. You are my soldiers. Whatever I shall ask, you must do. You may die and the victory may come afterward. That is not your concern. You are soldiers. Many of you may be finished, but the country as a whole will gain. So he's speaking about the concept of the Gita, but transferring it into our life, that whatever we're doing, actually, we're the soldiers of God. We can be. Actually, my daughter has this song that she got at her school when she was going to a Christian school last year, and it's I'm in the Lord's army. I'm in the Lord's army. So, we can be in the Lord's army. We're soldiers, and knowing that our great master is above us, and we can, go forward knowing that whatever happens actually is in His hands, and be happy like a child in their mother's hands. They're completely reliant on the mother, knowing that the mother will always care for them, and just free and happy like that. So this verse is giving the key to freedom from karma, from being entangled in this world and getting bitten by the actions and the good and bad actions of our activities, and actually becoming free, light-hearted, and happy, situated at the lotus feet of Krishna, of God, who is our very nearest and dearest friend in our heart. And knowing that He is behind the scenes, always looking out for us, always watching over us. And if we engage and make our life an offering, every action, whatever we're doing, whatever we're eating, whatever we're giving away, whatever we're doing in every activity, we can offer it all to Him, and He will purify that and be responsible for our life on all levels. And that is actually true responsibility. Being connected with God through everything is true responsibility, because then it is being responsible for not only ourselves, but the true responsibility for our relationships with our family, our friends, and for the whole world. And Krishna is saying this to Arjuna, that don't act with selfish interest, act with the global interest, act with the interest that is for you and everyone, and that is the interest of God. And when we align ourselves with the interest of God in everything we do, then we'll always be happy and moving forward very swiftly, and going deeper and deeper into that connection to realize our spiritual nature and our true selves. So I'll finish there today. If there's any questions or comments.
Thank you so much for your words, Chandramukti. I think it's truly liberating understanding the topic of today, um, because many times we feel like we want so many things and we're worried about the possible consequences all the time. So just provide an offering, and that doesn't mean doing half-heartedly, but actually doing all of your efforts, but without the distractions of how it could turn out. Just being focused on what we're doing, doing our best in there. And if the end result is not favorable for us, we know that was the will of Krishna. We don't understand the way he thinks or the way he is. We just know that he did what he wanted to do with his offering. He's responsible for it. We know he wants the best for us. And just continue going. So living in that way, in certain ways, also like living in the present, in what you're doing, not in how things will end up in the future, knowing how we did things in the past. So truly wonderful having this and try to remind ourselves about it every morning, I think is a wonderful piece of advice. I don't see any comments in here, but thank you so much for this wonderful time that you were sharing with all of us that were present live and for others who will see this in YouTube. And if you want to join us live, remember that we have sessions every Monday at 7:30 p.m. and every Thursday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you.